Private Living, Rio de Janeiro, 16 August 2023, 11 o'clock, 23 minutes in the night, almost midnight. We will have here a conversation quite simple, unveiling just a pattern recently observed at the warranty, which is ensure the accomplish of right and prepare the prison as a right of the state affected that can be denied, very precise, and a judicial warranty will have the endurance, I would say, to put things even more straight with specific heads on chair. But we could observe that if I'm in an area that you can violate my rights and guarantees and you did, you affect the interest on it. If you did as a specific notation with interaction by corruption, the embedded system as integrated component got corrupted equally. The matrix has a problem. I will check that my pattern will observe the failure to get the interconnection until get the question mark as domain or the major influence. But inside the, for instance, Brazil, the major offender is the Brazil, because Brazil must do all illegal procedures by specific chairs not held by judicial order as Treasonal Act with concurrent association on it, right? And the pattern and this kind of thing will change the stochastic process as data from micro data at my department until the entire conjuncture as big data. The database Sigma helped us to do not have this dependence as being kind of able at least to make a question if the corruption as a rule of thumb in a department and shared value as integrated attribute forming the systemic mobilization based on corruption, which is a crime, will give me the information or the responsiveness after I do the input is strong enough to satisfy my needs. We will check that we had the pattern as my regular area. And my regular area had one notation as fail with a range as activity circling areas as inference. In general, this can happen at the top. And I will understand that this broken window here as an empty interval will lead me to others groups as illegal thing inside my activity. And for instance, if I did the observation from the bottom that complained, for instance, because it's not receiving the proper payment or a fair treatment, or even at the outside as the stakeholders of my business or activity. And in the case of public department, the citizen. You deny this, you deny the citizenship. Fact proven. You will use the compliance, criminal intelligence, or intelligence for your misguided ways of do things. But this thing here, in the same way as we could observe, which is the relation as domain and image, and in general, the function relation, each domain has a unique image but a promiscuous thing as an index criminality. Each domain has a unique image function. Each domain has more than one and more than a single thing. It's a relation, a functional relation, but not a function. You deny the citizenship because the citizens are expecting the regular function. Another fact proved as Prisoners Act. It's mathematics, it's flawless, you can't offer resistance. You are all beaten. You check that this situation goes like this. Right? And we will check that the domain has, for instance, the domain explicit at the department is the image as criminal organization. The domain at the department indeed is the image as criminal organization. And one single criminal as domain can have association or participation in many domains, especially if they do the hiring process or the designation. Now we are coming back from our environment, passing through the criminal organization, and observe that the criminal thing had the pattern here, which is the corrupted workflow, and they will kind of do the same thing, quoting as counterintelligence. We set an interval here, considering that the area as internal control of organized crime and the area as internal control of my regular activity has an interval with association as interaction, at least at the communication. Because everything I do inside my regular area with corruption from the top, and the top has an image under influence of domain as criminal activity, will know the things, and at least one officer will do the insider trading, dripping information to the criminal organization, prevent the risks against the things made. We are proving one more time how the corruption at the top operates using the domain and image, how you did the Prisoners Act, and how you deny the citizenship, not only as my case, but in all cases like this, having quite clear that if we have the interval here, we can operate now, forgetting this area here, which will be the area as centers of control made or doing the activity. Indeed, we did the control, and now the organized crime is making the control by the dialogue, which is not an institutional dialogue, but a workflow, considering this area here that is now at the matrix. If we push a bit more, we had the possibility as division of our matrix. Right? Right. There's no escape. You will pay. You will suffer the seizure. You will be sent to jail. You will suffer the financial penalty. The money as 38 trillion will be researched in the way we are doing, and we will have more prison. The international criminals on 3 boats, we set the 2000 22 on Brazilian public budget, transnational organized crime on it. The 2024, the G20 doing the aggression at MySpace, private living guarantees in Brazil that shouldn't be hurt but got hurted by you all. And the last one, the institutional dialogue in the United States of America, considering the streets and the things we have, to talk about which senators are on drugs and a lot of things, especially from the top. Because to run this kind of thing, the criminal activity is the minority. But if you have the domain of regular architecture and be under the influence of the major domain as organized crime, they will run over the decency and the decent chairs at your arena or society, put things in a crisis or in a big mess, to force the criminal association. In general, we'll go at first like the tax. You will put the tax so high that people will do the evasion and you offer scams to have the entry at the organized crime by the tax scams or violation of rights. We reported this on our diary. It was on August 15. Institutional corruption and such ways of violence, including suppression of rights and oppression by fear or intimidation. You know, you do this to push people, make the entry in your scam. Nowadays, your situation is like this: organized crime in a transcontinental level as pandemic mobilization of local crime. The internal control of institution had traced the criminal groups related with the internal fail that had the talk and the transference of intelligence. For instance, if you do the financial intelligence for the antitrust justice in USA and this became an asset for criminal use, advantages on Europe at the Swiss bank, for instance, the information got tripped at this workflow by the dialogue with the criminal corruption that put things, the public corruption, put things here. Here we observe that this kind of thing will have mostly the same value. It's the corrupted element inside my regular institution or the corrupted authority have the talk at the criminal area. By the sense you have, you will assume the direction or which kind of future you would like to have. Have a great night.